Hello guys, good evening. You are welcome to my YouTube channel, the SPC Tutorials. My name is Mr. Joseph. Please, as you are watching this video, endeavor to subscribe, like, share, and comment. In today's video, I'll be taking us AEB 111, a topic called Porifera. Please, as you are watching this video, endeavor to subscribe, like, share, and comment. The first thing we are going to be doing now is okay, these are the sponges actually, and we have to look at the characteristics or the features of what these organisms. One, they are radially symmetrical. All right, they are radially what symmetrical, and they do not have nervous system. They do not have nervous system, and they do not have what true organs. They don't have nervous system. They don't have true organs. They don't even have a sense organs. Okay, they do not have reproductive organ. Please take note of that. And they don't have respiratory organ. Now, in a sense, since they don't have respiratory organ, there is respiration occurs through their body surface via what diffusion. All right, respiration occurs through their body surface via what diffusion. Take note of that. Now, the sponges are actually made up of a type of loose connective tissue, loose connective gelatinous matrix called mesohyl. All right, the connective tissues or the connective tissue found in sponges is called what mesohyl, and it is what a loose connective tissue, which means that the tissues in these organisms, they are not dense. They are not what dense. They are just what loose. Please, the connective tissue of the sponges is what the mesohyl, and it is made up of fibrils, cells, and what spicules. Now, these spicules are actually the skeletal material of what sponges, spicules. Now, sponges, they undergo a type of asexual reproduction called budding. All right, they undergo a type of what asexual reproduction called budding or regeneration. Which means that sponges have the ability to what regenerate lost parts, and they also reproduce through what budding. When that bud is what an outgrowth from the parent plant, which eventually breaks up during what reproduction and forms a new sponge. Take note of that. Again, there is the major waste of sponges is what ammonia. The major waste of sponges is what ammonia. Take note of that. And their larva is amphiblastula larva. Right, the type of larva found in sponges is called what amphiblastula larva. Take note of that. Now, this is a type of what as sexual reproduction, but a type of sexual reproduction occurs through germination. That is germ. All right. Germination is a type of what sexual reproduction in what sponges. So please take note, sponges are monoecious or bisexual or hermaphrodite. All right, they are monoecious or bisexual or what hermaphrodite. That is to say that they have both the male and female what reproductive organ. Take note of that. Now, during sexual reproduction, the gametes from one sponge, all right, the gametes from one sponge is passed out through the osculum via with the help of what water currents. During sexual reproduction, gametes from the sponge is passed through the osculum. Please take note, we have the ostia or ostium, and we have oscula or osculum. Alright, the ostia, which is plural, this one is all singular. Now, ostium is that region where water passes into the central cavity of sponge called what? Spongocoil. Alright, the central cavity of sponge is called what? Spongocoil. Now, water enters into the body of sponge through the ostia or what? Ostium. It enters into the body through the ostium or what? Ostia. Now, water leaves through the oscula or what? Osculum. Okay, take note of that. The entry of water is through the osculum, while the leaving of water is through the ostia. It therefore means that this one acts as what? Acts the exhalant. And this one acts as what? The inhalant. Alright? Take note of that. So, good. I will explain something here. As soon as garment is passed through the osculum, it enters into another sponge. It enters into another sponge. Now, which means that there's what? A cross fertilization. Fertilization. Which means that for it to occur, it must require another what? Parent. This garment produced passes through the osculum through the help of what? Water currents into another sponge. Which means that there's what? A cross fertilization. As soon as it gets to where the sponge is, it fertilizes to produce what? A zygote. Now this zygote will not develop to what? Larva. This larva, I said, is what? The amphiblastoid larva. This larva will not become what? A new sponge. Alright? Take note of that. It is very, very important. I said respiration is through diffusion on the body surface, and the major waste is what? Ammonia. I said the osculum is that region where water enters, passes or leaves the body of the organism, while the ostia or ostium is the one that permits the entry of water into the body of the organisms. Please take note of that. Now, sponges have different cells. Sponges, they have different cells. Look at. Okay, before I go into that, let me tell you the body division of sponges. They have the outer layer. Now this outer layer is surrounded by what is called what? Pinacocytes. Alright, this outer layer is surrounded by what is called what? A pinacocyte. You now have what? The middle gelatinous layer. This way you have what? The connective tissue called what? Mesohyl. I think that the connective tissue found in sponges is called what? Mesohyl. And it's found at the middle layer of what? The body. They now have the inner layer. These markers are bad, man. We now have the inner layer. The inner layer, that is where you have the choanocytes. The choanocyte is surrounded by what is called what? Collar. The choanocytes is surrounded by what is called what? Collar. Now, the choanocytes is actually an ovoid cells. It's an ovoid cell in which one end is embedded inside the mesohyl, while the other end is pointing outward. I'll repeat. I said the choanocyte, which is the inner layer of the organism. One end is embedded inside the connective tissue, while the other end is pointing what? Outward. Now there are different cells in the sponges. There are different cells. We have one. Please let me rub off this one. We have one called pinacocyte. The pinacocyte is a thin, thin and flattened epithelial cells that surround the exterior surface. This exterior surface is called what? Pinacodem. and some what? Interior surface. Alright? In animals, the first layer of the skin is what? Epidermis. The first layer of the skin is epidermis, which means that the pinacocyte is acting as what? Epidermis in poriferans. The outer layer of the poriferans is surrounded by what is called what? A pinacocyte, okay? These pinacocytes surround the exterior surface called pinacodem and some of what? The interior surface. Now take note of this. Pinacocytes that are contractile, are called what? Myocytes. That is contractile pinacocytes. Pinacocytes that's contractile, okay? That is Tile. Alright? Pinacocytes that are contractile are called what? The myocytes. The myocytes are arranged around the osculum. Now when they are found in the osculum, they act as what? Water regulator. They act as what? Water regulator. Take note of that. A contractile pinacocyte called myocytes is arranged around the osculum and it regulates what? Water. Take note of that. Another cell that is found in the sponge is what? The choanocyte. Don't forget, I said that the pinacocyte is what? Of thin and flat. And it's a type of what? Epithelial tissues. Okay, another type of cell is what? The choanocyte. The choanocyte, I said, is what? An ovoid cell. It's an ovoid cell that is surrounded by what is called what? Collar. And it is by the beating action of this collar that propels nutrients into the body of all the organism, which means that the work of the choanocytes is for what? Nutrition. The sponges use the choanocyte for what? Feeding, nutrition. Take note of that, okay? And I said the choanocytes has one of its side embedded into the, that is in the mesophyll layer, while the mesohyl layer, while the other one is pointing outward, okay? It has flagella. By the beating action of the flagella, food is propelled into the body of what? The organism through the ostium. Don't forget that. Another type of, this is number 2. Another type of cell found in the sponge is called what? Acanthocyte. This acanthocyte is what? Phagocytic. It's what? Phagocytic in function, and it phagocytizes food in the pinacodem. Alright, it phagocytizes food particles in what? In the pinacodem. You know the pinacodem is the exterior surface of what? Of the sponges, okay? Now, the acanthocyte also, okay, let me add S. The acanthocyte also have the ability to collect food materials from the choanocyte for what? Digestion. Take note of that. Which means that the work of the acanthocyte is phagocytism and what? Digestion. While the work of the choanocyte is on what? Nutrition. Take note of that. Now, these acanthocytes are now differentiated into different types of cells. There are different types of cells that the acanthocyte differentiates into. We have the sclerocytes. The sclerocytes are responsible for the secretion of what? Spicules. Alright? The sclerocytes secrete what? Spicules, which are actually the skeletal what? Material. Number 2, it is also differentiated into what is called spongocytes. Now these spongocytes, they produce what? Spongin. They produce spongin. Number 3, you now have what? The colecytes. The colecytes, they secrete what? collagen fiber. All right, they secrete what? Collagen fiber. That is the function of what? Collagen, like as the name implies, collagen. They produce what? Collagen fiber. Then the fourth one is lymphocytes. The lymphocytes, they produce a larger amount of what? Collagen fibers. They produce a larger amount of what? Collagen fibers, and they are what? Morphologically different from the collagen. Please take note of that. Now these are the general characteristics of what? Sponges. We now have classes of sponges. Now there are 5 classes of sponges based on what? The speckles and what they are made up of. I said there are 4 classes of what? Sponges based on the nature of speckles and what they are made, or with which they are made, based on speckles. 1, we have the calcarea. The calcarea is made up of what? Calcium carbonates. A good example of organism under calcarea is Leucoselena. Leucoselena is what? A calcarean, having what? Calcium carbonate. Number 2 is class Hexactinellida. Now this class Hexactinellida possesses what? A hexatyl siliceous, of course, glass speckles. All right, a type of the class of sponges that possesses what? Hexatyl siliceous. Siliceous is from what? Glass. Speckle is called what? Hexactinellida. A good example is what? A good example is Uplectilla. Alright? Uplectilla is an example of sponge that possesses that is under the class Hexactinellida. Take note of that. Number 3, we now have Dermospongia. Dermospongia is made up of what? Collagen fiber, and that is what? Protein in form, is proteinous. A good example is the Spongilia. The Spongilia possesses what? Dermospongia. The fourth one, which is the last one, is the sclerocyte. The sclerocyte is made up of the 3 type of what? Speckles. That is the calcarea, the Hexactinellida, the Dermospongia. They are all found. What it means is calcium carbonates are found in the sclerocytes. These siliceous speckles are found in the sclerocyte, while these collagen fibers are also found in the sclerocyte. It is made up of the 3 type of what? Skeletal materials. Good example is the Serrapelena. Alright, is this Serrapelena or Serrapeltina? Please check this spelling out. So at this point, we call it a day. Thanks for watching, and do have a wonderful night rest. Please endeavor to subscribe, like, share, and comment.